Okay, first flight of the day. We're lined up or holding short on runway 01. As you can see, let's get permission to take off. Mike India Golf 1. Mike India Golf 1.
Moscow Tower MiG 007 ready for west departure at runway 01.
MiG 007 altimeter tree 0.09er with 070 at 8. Departure to the west approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 01.
Mike India Golf 1.
Cleared for takeoff runway 01 MiG 007.
So we're taking off pretty much to the north, then turning left immediately after takeoff to go west to a big football stadium. Or soccer, being South America, they probably play what we call soccer, they probably call it football. Although in Australia football means rugby league and rugby union, it's very confusing. Okay, it's runway 01. We've been cleared, so let's get on there. And I want to take off at 8 o'clock, it's 13 seconds past, 15 seconds. So let's do a rolling start. .40 knots, 50, 60, left rudder, 70, 80, 90, 6 degrees, nose up, and hold it back, we're climbing out. Gear up. Passing 250 knots and flaps up. And we'll start turning left. Pretty much want to go directly west at this point.
MiG 007 continue for west departure.
So they'll be heading 270 or 27 on the compass star. Now that's in theory, but of course this aircraft takes quite a while to turn, so turn a little bit more to the left. Say goodbye. Mike India Golf 1. Mike India Golf 1.
Moscow Tower MiG 007
And we'll climb to 1,000 feet as planned. Did I say 1,500 on this flight? I can't remember. Well, let's go to 1,500, that's our default. Okay, let's get the GoPro cameras activated. There we go. 1,300, climbing to 1,500. And here we are, we're already at the stadium. There it is. And a smaller one on the left. And there's a nice garden area around there apparently too. Excellent. So turning left here, heading for the bump. We can see in the distance that hill. The end of the bay there. And as I said in the briefing, you can see these two buildings very clearly. Let's get down to about 1,000 feet. These two buildings are very clear, just fly between them or past them. Going pretty slow because it's all happening pretty quick. It's only a short flight plan. We speed up along the beach. Okay, so there we go, passing the two buildings. Heading towards that hill in the distance. Looking pretty good. And looking to turn at the Naval Base. So there's Montevideo. First flight's always a bit hectic because you're trying to work out where to go. And on the second and third times around you really start to enjoy the scenery. Storage facility there, petroleum storage. And Naval Base coming up on the left. Still quite early in the morning. And here we go. some unavoidable stutter there. It's something to do with this map. Happens to be about 1% of the time. 200 odd flights. This is only the second time I've really experienced it. I've tried several different routes down here, so let's just push through it for now. Everything just grinds to a massive halt for about 30 seconds. Can't do anything about it. Just hope it gets fixed up later on. I'm sure it will. Yep, just waiting. This takes me back to the 1980s when we used to fly with frame rates like this all the time. So I thought it was great. Of course, it's not so great now. Yep. Okay. We're back to normal, I hope. So there's the Naval Base. Turning left. And heading along shoreline. We just basically follow the shore all along past the city until we get to the mouth of Pando Creek. Let's have a look to the north. Nice. Montevideo's coming to life. Passing the docks. Now let's get down to 500 feet and start checking out the scenery. Gorgeous. Looks like Miami Vice. Still got moisture in the air. Lovely. Morning dew has still not been burnt off. Let's go to the wing cam. Nice. And back inside. Just fly around the point. Yeah, we just keep following the coast. Okay, we seem to be back in business. How nice is that? Yeah, back in business. Let's get the GoPro out, nice. Lovely beaches. Okay, so we've got about 16 miles to fly along this coast, so take it at your own speed, fast or slow. That way lies the South Pole. Now, pretty much, yeah, we're just about to pass our airport. Actually, if you pull up for a moment, you see to the left, that's where we took off from, right there. Cool. So let's continue up a few more miles. Enjoy the beachfront property. Lots of waterfront properties around here. Now I'm going to turn right a bit because Pando Creek's coming up. Let's climb a bit so we can see it. It's still about 5 miles out. Anyway, I'll stay up here now. Let's get to 1,000 feet again. Yeah, got a massive, that's got to be one of the longest beaches I've seen. It's at least 20 miles long. It actually just goes on and on. Here's the creek coming up now. So, as I said in the briefing, we'll turn left at the creek, follow it up, and when you see the first big curve in the creek, like a semicircle, we'll turn left and we'll see the airport in front of us. There's the GoPro view. Going to do a hard left here. Okay, let's go around. It's waypoint 4. And if you follow this, take us pretty much back to, and here's the bend I was talking about. Turn left here, we should see the airport. Let's see what happens. Turn left, yep, there it is. Right, so the next flight should be much easier. We know what to look for. Football stadium, turn left a bit, follow the beach, up the creek, often up the creek, turn left at the bend and burrow. Excellent. So let's see what they want us to do regarding landing. Channel 2. Channel 2. And Mike India Golf 2.
Moscow Tower MiG-007 6 miles northeast 1,600 feet to land.
6007 Carrasco Tower. Altimeter tree 0.06 wind 030 and tree 1. Fly left traffic runway 01.
Oh. Mike India Golf 1.
Left downwind runway 01 MiG-007.
Okay, so interesting. Often we get permission to land on that runway, which makes it easy, but this time we're not, so we're going to come right a little bit and look for runway 01. Let's get the speed up a bit. You want to come in around 250 knots and 1,000 feet. Okay, we're just approaching the end of 01, which is the runway we took off from. Well, that's cool. It means we'll be landing from the beach side, which is very picturesque. So here's 01, coming back the other way, of course. Left traffic means we'll keep it on the left. 01, opposite of that is 190, so there we go. We'll turn left in a moment. Okay, back to visual. So we're now on downwind for runway 01 at 1,000 feet. I reckon we'll turn back in pretty much at the beach. No point cutting it any shorter until we get used to it here.
MiG-007 with 030 and tree 2. Cleared to land runway 01.
Mike India Golf 1.
Cleared to land runway 01 MiG-007.
So it's very picturesque here, all these lakes and rivers, creeks, beach. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to drop the gear. I think I'll drop the gear before I turn because I'm already quite slow. So gear down. Gear's travelling, flaps down. Pitches up quite a lot. Going to add power and turn 180 degrees onto final. There's the runway. Nice. So that tall building next to the highway is obviously a good landmark for this runway. So next time we'll probably do our turn over that building, I'll say. If we, yeah, next time we'll land on this runway, of course. Okay, 165. Lined up pretty well. 3 greens, fuel is good, flaps are down. 600 feet, 140 knots. Probably a lot of water birds around here because of the lakes, so that could be a problem with bird strikes, I guess. 126 knots, a bit of crosswind. Let's get the rudder going. 120 knots, hold it there. Left rudder, across the threshold at 110 we hope, and it's actually 112, that's pretty good. We're adding power as we sink, flaring, touching down at 94 knots, not too bad, 1 knot slow. Okay, I shall do that and I'll come back after lunch, and now that I know where I'm going, I'll take more time checking out the view. FAB.